All right, welcome back to the Game Smash podcast. As always, I'm your host, William Liberty, and with me is...
Boaz Muhammad Yusuf.
And today we've got a lot to cover. We're going to be talking about Rainbow Six Siege footage, Assassin's Creed Chronicles, Witcher 3 expansions being announced, NBA 2K14, and the Nintendo Direct, and finally, Deus Ex Mankind Divided. But before we do that, let's talk about what we've been playing this week. So Fawaz, got the PS4. It's all hooked up. And I've been having a lot of fun playing Bloodborne. And,
See that?
And to be perfectly honest, Bloodborne, I actually love it way more than Dark Souls or Dark Souls 2.
Okay.
Because, and this is for me, is because the gameplay is more action. It's more oriented. You have to adapt on the fly. And the gameplay in Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2, it's fun and it's good gameplay, but you have to be more defensive, and it's more about picking the right opportunity to attack. Whereas this game feels more like a character action game. So there's more intense moments. Like the boss fight that I had a lot of fun with is you're fighting against another hunter who has a giant axe. And he's got a shotgun, and you're just sidestepping and dodging bullets, and you have to you have to fight him. And as the fight goes on, he goes into different stages. Like he switches his axe into like a two-handed axe, and then he turns into a werewolf right when you're about to defeat him and stuff like that. And it's all really fast-paced and intense. And yeah, this is definitely the game. After getting some hands-on, this is the game that you buy a PS4. This really is. Hands down. But yeah, so that's what I've been playing this week. Having just a blast with Bloodborne. But what about you? What you been playing?
Okay, well, I've been playing a little game called Infamous First Light.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also, I forgot to mention, I got a PS4.
Hey, welcome to the party.
Yeah, so I got the PS4, and because I had PlayStation Plus, I had a bunch of games just waiting for me. So I downloaded that, and I finished it already. It's really short. I finished it in like 3 days. But it was fun. You control this girl called Fetch, and you just go through. She had like a troubled childhood, typical shit, and you just go through all of that, and you go through the story. I finished that off, and then you have these things called the challenge modes. So I'm trying to work on those, but they're kind of hard. So it's cool. But yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So hopefully more PS4 games to come in the next couple months.
For sure.
But speaking of PS4 games, Rainbow Six Siege got some footage released, a short little trailer, and pretty good. I'm excited, and they showed off, setting up the wall, like cover and shields, and I think they showed off a mission where you're actually on a plane.
Yeah.
And yeah, go on.
Okay, yeah, no, that was actually just the map. Because all they've shown so far is multiplayer, right?
Yes.
And that was just one of the maps. But yeah, no, it looks really good. The environments are like almost completely destructible, which is awesome. I like the fact that you have it's pretty hardcore. I mean, it's not hardcore enough for the Rainbow Six fans. From what I've been reading, people like the Rainbow Six fans, they aren't happy with a bunch of things that are in it. But for someone like me, it's pretty hardcore. 1 life per round. I've always liked modes like that. Which probably why I loved Gears of War.
Yeah.
It looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun with a group of friends. It's gonna be shit with like randoms, but it's gonna be a lot of fun with like you get like 3 or 4 friends, and y'all just looks like fun.
Yeah, because you can, especially with friends, is you plan and execute, and it's like, all right, Jimmy Jams, you're gonna go over to the window and stuff like that, and the other guy's just gonna breach through the front door as a distraction and stuff like that. So I like the idea of these sort of like hostage rescue missions, because it allows a lot of tactical gameplay to it.
Yeah, yeah. One thing though, one complaint that the PC people had that I actually fully agree with is that there's one operator that has a heartbeat sensor, right?
Right?
Which allows him to see enemies through walls.
Okay.
And it's just like, well, that is just bullshit because that's just it's like it takes all the tactics and throws it out the window because like when you start up the map, both groups have a grace period where they set up their defenses. The defensive team sets up their defensive, the offensive team scouts the area to try and figure out where the hostage is, right? And then they decide where they enter the place through. But then with the heartbeat sensor, you can just figure out where they're entering through and just move all your shit over there and be like, yep, pop, 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 pop. And then you can shoot through walls too. So just do your little heartbeat sensor, find out where they are, pop, 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 pop. It's I definitely agree that needs, but I mean it still looks pretty early. So I mean it was like pre-alpha footage, so I'm pretty sure a lot of this stuff is subject to change. But yeah.
I honestly, if they give the terrorists like some sort of jamming device or something like that, I think that's a pretty good workaround to a certain extent. Like maybe they have to, if they can set up like a jamming device in a room so that there's no way that you can tell what's in a room or something like that unless you just blow the room open. But but yeah, I hope that they add some changes for that because that could definitely be a little bit overpowered for sure.
Just a little.
But next on our list, Assassin's Creed Chronicles. An interesting announcement. So there are going to be several different 2D kind of 2D Assassin's Creed games similar to Mark of the Ninja. And I think you were talking how they're like one is in like China. I think another one is in India. So obviously, I am actually kind of excited for this because, the closer you get to Asia, the better. Because I think, and we were talking about this, we think that this is overall a better approach because it's a completely different twist than the other Assassin's Creed games, which are all kind of very similar to each other.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's probably gonna be an Assassin's Creed coming out this fall. Like, let's just be honest with ourselves. But no, I like this. I mean, I loved Mark of the Ninja. That was the game that I spent my last few years with my Xbox 360. I just played that all the time. I love that game. These games, they reminded me of Mark of the Ninja. So if they play anything like Mark of the Ninja, if they're as good as Mark of the Ninja, I'll definitely be picking maybe not all three, but one or two up. One cool thing is that the art style for each one is unique to that era. The Chinese, the one set in China, it looks like a water painting. The one set in Russia looks like one of those propaganda posters. Yeah. The Indian one, I don't have anything to compare it to, but they all look very, very unique, and it's all in all, it's a really cool idea. But then this brings up one thing that I wanted to ask you. Okay. So it was a while ago where it was rumored that Sony was working on a God of War 4, and my first impression was no, we don't need any more. Like Kratos' story is done. I mean, Ascension just reiterated the fact that we don't need another God of War, right?
Yeah.
But then one person replied to my comments, and he was like, "What if Sony did this thing where they would switch eras, like because the game is just called God of War. So like I mean, sure, the past 7 games have been about Kratos dealing with Greek gods, but then what if they switch to like the Egyptian era for the next one, and then maybe because I mean like almost every single mythology has its own God of War. Like I mean, Nigerian mythology, we have our own God of War. So like they will have a lot of places to go with this. So they were like, what if they switched to Egypt or something like that? And I was like, I would definitely prefer that over another one set.
I think at this point, I think we've gotten enough Greek gods. I think we've gotten our fill. But yeah, I think switching to a different setting, like it could be like there's tons of potential. Like you could do an Egyptian setting, you could do like Norse mythology. Norse mythology is actually really badass when you get into
the Norse God of War.
Shit, I don't know. I know, but I do know that there's some really awesome gods. Like there's the friggin' moose dragon. I think his name is Nidhogg. There's that. There's like frost. Because think about it, like for Norse mythology, there could be like frost giants. There could be freaking, you got Loki, you've got Odin, you got Thor, god of
Yeah,
lightning, stuff like that. So,
yeah.
and Loki, oh well, he makes sense to be a evil protagonist at this point. Everyone knows about Loki now. But I think yeah, maybe switching if they do decide to go for like another God of War. I think they should just switch the century and also obviously switch the character because the thing
Yeah.
that Assassin's Creed, even though I'm not the biggest fan of them, at least they follow different characters.
Yeah.
Because eventually, you're gonna get tired of seeing the same character over and over and over again. So it's nice that every once in a while, like Assassin's Creed's Black Flag followed a different character. Assassin's Creed 3 followed a different character and whatnot. So at the very least, that's a little bit of a creative thing. So you're not just following the same character. Because if you don't like that character, then you're kind of screwed.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And just a quick thing, Tyr, I'm not sure how I pronounce that. That
Mm-hmm.
is the name of the Norse god of war.
Yeah.
And in terms of a Norse mythology god of war game, I don't know if you remember Two Human.
Yeah, I know Two Human kind of fucked that up, but I
It
think.
was it was shit, but it was like when it first got announced, that was what they were hyping it up as. They were like that this is gonna be Microsoft's God of War, and this is gonna
Mhm.
be a God of War type game set in Norse mythology. The game ended up being shit, but you know.
Well, here's the deal. Like, if you take that concept and you give it to a competent developer, then maybe it can work. But fucking
Yeah,
Silicon Knights, oh god,
yeah.
god damn it, guys, get your shit together. That was just a fucking catastrophe.
That game.
But anyway, moving on to better games than Two Human. Witcher 3. Bunch of expansions got announced, and the biggest thing that they're discussing is that the expansions are going to be around 30 hours. So think like Skyrim levels of expansions,
Yeah.
stuff like
Or,
that.
6 copies of the Order 1886,
Yep, yep.
depending on how you. But
Exactly. So there you go. God, I saw so many trade-in copies of the order when I went to EB Games yesterday.
the EB Games guy told me, he was like, dog, if you ever want to, because I have this little, just a quick digression. I have this
Yeah.
little card that lets me borrow games. I can buy games and return them in 3 days and get a full refund. He was like, if I ever wanted to play the Order 1886, I could just buy it, beat it, and bring it back. He doesn't care.
So
But
there you
that's
go.
enough of that. So yeah,
But yeah, Witcher expansions. I think this is good. I'm curious when these expansions are actually going to come out because if they're like they got to release the game first before they start talking about expansions. Let's see how the
yeah,
game actually comes out because even though like I love Skyrim when it first came out, especially for the PS3. It was a bit rough. It was a bit rough to say the least. So
yeah.
I hope that they're not biting off more than they can chew. But yeah, I'm kind of excited. But what are your thoughts on the 30-hour expansions?
Oh, so just a little more information.
Mm-hmm.
The two expansions it's two, right?
Yeah, I
There's
think it's
one
two.
called Hearts of Stone, not
Mm-hmm.
Hearthstone. Then the second one is called Blood and Wine, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first will be available for $10. The second will be available for $20.
Mm-hmm.
And the first is coming out in October. The second is coming out Q1
Mm-hmm.
2016.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a bundle where you can buy the game and the expansion packs for $80 on the PC
Mm-hmm.
and 85 on next gen consoles. Because
Yeah. Yeah.
it costs an extra $5 to develop the next gen consoles, but
Yeah.
I'm never gonna get on that. So let me see. So yeah, I like it. I like it. I love expansion packs. I prefer expansion packs over DLC because
Mm-hmm.
it's not even that I like paying one lump sum and then just getting everything, which is
Yeah.
why I usually just wait for Game of the Year editions of games so I can just pay at once. Even if
Mm-hmm.
the Game of the Year edition of the game wasn't discounted, I would probably still prefer it because I just like paying at once and just having everything,
Yeah.
even if it costs a little more. So yeah, if I was picking up The Witcher, I'd definitely pick up the game plus expansion pass
Mm-hmm.
option. But yeah, it's overall it's really cool. But I'm with you. I just want to see the game first before I start
Mm-hmm.
deciding whether or not I'm going to invest an extra $30 in
Mm-hmm.
on downloadable content. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, I'm excited too. I just hope that they don't bite off more than they can chew. But here's hoping. Here's hoping.
Yes, so.
But moving on from that, oh god, NBA 2K14. I'm gonna pass this off to you, Fawaz, because what the hell?
Okay, so for all you people that love buying annualized sports games, this is good. This is gonna be good. So NBA, so 2K decided to shut down their servers for NBA 2K14 a year later,
Mm,
and which is all fine. And I mean, first of all, that's bullshit.
mm,
But whatever. Most people aren't playing online anymore anyway, right? However, this had an unexpected effect, and it deleted or everybody's single player information, their my player accounts and
mm.
their my GM account. I haven't even logged in yet to check if mine has gotten deleted yet. Which I probably should in now that I'm thinking about it. But um,
That's a horrifying
but yeah,
thought.
naturally people were irate. What kind of bullshit is that? Like I personally put like 30 hours into my player, and I haven't even made it through a single season yet. There's people out there who have played this stuff since the game came out. They've put in like 50, 60, 70 hours into this stuff, and they just lose all their. And then the press release that 2K made was such bullshit. I can't remember the exact. I don't feel like quoting it, but it pretty much summed up to, oh well, that sucks. Well, you can start again in offline mode now. What?
That's the most bullshit answer ever. Well, that sucks. Well, moving on then. You want to buy our next game? Get hyped for NBA 2K15. Your save files delete after 2 hours.
Yeah, like it's such bull. And see, I've always been against annualized sports games. I've
Mm-hmm.
never been in support of it. I love the NBA 2K games. I'm not even going to lie, but I
Mm-hmm.
can never bring myself to buy them because I don't like buying games that are obsolete in a year. And this shit is why. This shit right here is why.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
you buy a game and and then they don't even allow you to play it for as long as you want. They're pretty much forcing you to upgrade to the next to the next version. It's bullshit, and I hope it comes back to bite them in the ass, because I would
Mm-hmm.
love nothing more than to see a world where annualized sports games are not a thing, because they do not need to be a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on this shit.
Yeah. Exactly. But anyway, moving on from that, uh, Nintendo Direct, a crap ton of news, But let's get started with one of my favorite parts, Mewtwo. We finally got a trailer for Mewtwo. Goddamn, Mewtwo is one of my favorite Smash characters, and when he was announced as DLC, I was like, yes, thank God, because I don't know what I would have done without a world without Mewtwo. And they also announced Lucas as well. A nice returning face. I never was a big fan of Lucas from Brawl, but more characters the better.
I had to do research to figure out who the hell he was.
Yeah, he's a little bit obscure.
Yeah,
but along with that, they also announced the Mii Fighter DLC, which is a bunch of more customizable stuff for your Mii Fighters, which I think is good. There's a lot that you can unlock in the game, but I don't mind them kind of. I feel like little a DLC, because the Mii Fighter DLC isn't that expensive. It's only about maybe a buck or two.
okay.
But I feel like this is kind of a good thing because it's giving people a reason to come back to Smash. Because I'll have to be honest, I haven't played a whole lot of Smash in a while. It's been a month or so since I've really played a bunch of Smash. The Wii U version at the very least.
Okay.
But I do kind of like this. But more importantly, they also announced the Smash Brothers the voting thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically they said, all right, guys, fine. Here's a site. Type in the character that you want. Give a reason why, and we'll see. We'll see who gets the most votes.
Who are you gonna vote for?
Groose.
Who's that?
Groose. He's this really dopey character from Skyward Sword.
Oh, okay.
And the whole joke is the Groose is let loose or something like that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, because I would love to have a jokey character be added to the roster at this point. Because I miss some of the jokey characters, to say the least. But I don't know, because you have to realize, like, it has to be a Nintendo property. Like, there's people that are probably gonna be like, put Goku in Smash, and it's like that's never going to happen. No matter how many times you tell him to do it, it's never going to happen. So, yeah, I find it's kind of an interesting thing. I will be really interested to see which characters do get the most votes. I think that will be very interesting to see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same here.
But along with that, they also announced something that I didn't think they were going to announce. They showed off the Attack on Titan 3DS game. And this is, obviously, I'm a big fan of Attack on Titan, and when I saw this game from Japan, like the Japanese trailers, I was like, this game's never gonna get ported. There's no way they're gonna bring it over. And then when they showed it, I was like, oh my god. I heard that the game, from what people have said they've played it, that it was a little bit rough. But when the trailer was saying, like, you could play with 4 people, and you could just 4 people fighting Titans, I was just like, oh my god, oh, that actually sounds really fun. But I'm probably going to pick it up when it does come out, because I'm just a huge Attack on Titan fan. But I was really surprised to see this, at the very least.
Okay.
And then after that, this was probably the most interesting and the most controversial announcement. So, Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem. Now, they announced this game all the way back in 2013, I think, in E3. All they did was show a couple of characters from the SMT series and the Fire Emblem series, and they said there's going to be a crossover game. So people were kind of excited and interested, like, what's the game going to look like? So then the trailer gets shown, and it's pretty weird because it doesn't really look like a Fire Emblem game or a Shin Megami Tensei game. That's the weirdest thing about it, because in the trailer you see a bunch of the characters that are clearly from Fire Emblem. You see like a Lucina kind of character, a Marth, a Roy, and you see them in a dystopian kind of futuristic Japan. They seem to be fighting in arenas. Some of the characters seem to be J-pop singers, and they're fighting demons in these arenas. See what I mean? They're fighting demons in arenas while people are singing. And there's a point where one of the characters is riding a half horse, half motorcycle.
What?
Yeah, it's literally it's like a mechanical horse, but the back of it is like a jetpack motorcycle.
Oh my god.
So people were kind of like, what the fuck? And this is like, I gotta introduce you to the system, Fawaz. It's called the ABS system.
Okay.
And the ABS system is basically how much anime bullshit can people handle. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a certain people have different tolerances. And for me, I was actually pretty tolerant because I saw some really cool designs. I saw some really like awesome mechanics, but to be honest, it's like somebody pointed out, this actually looks more like a Persona cross Fire Emblem game than a Shin Megami Tensei cross Fire Emblem game.
Okay.
But being a huge Persona fan, I don't really have a problem with that. So, but to people who were like, you know, raging at the trailer, like, oh, they ruined the potential of this game. Like, first off, guys, the trailer's about like a minute. So we haven't seen the whole game yet. This is just like first impressions. So well, let's just give the game some time and see where it goes. But yeah, there was a lot of ABS in that trailer, to say the least. But moving on from that, let's go on to another Fire Emblem game that got announced. The upcoming one. They showed some more gameplay for that. It looks pretty cool. I like the models, and this one looks like a more, you know, typical Fire Emblem game. There was one thing that I really didn't like, and I'm interested to see your opinion on this. So basically, one of the things that they announced in the trailer is that your character was born of one clan. Let's just call them the White Clan. I don't know their exact name. And then, which is like a peace-loving clan. But then they were raised by the Black Clan, which is this like warrior kind of clan, like honor and kind of like, you know, typical samurai clan.
Yeah.
Um, and the thing is that you have to choose a side. But what they were telling people is that in the trailer that if you're new to the Fire Emblem, you should side with the White Clan because it's easier for people that aren't used to Fire Emblem. But if you want a challenge, you should side with like the Samurai Clan.
Okay.
And the problem I have with that is that it kind of makes it that you're choosing sides less on a which side you think deserves your resources. Then it ends up being more of, oh, I don't want the game to be super hard. I'm just gonna pick the peace loving White Clan or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I don't like that. I honestly it's kind of an interesting idea, but I feel like it takes away the idea of like you're having a moral conundrum of who you should side with. But what do you think about this, Fawaz?
Um, on one hand, I do see what you mean,
Hmm.
but on the other hand, I've always been a big fan of a of when games make decisions that you make in the game affect the gameplay in some way.
Hmm.
You know, so it's not just aesthetics,
Okay.
but there's also like gameplay ramifications for choosing this side over that side or choosing one thing over the other. I've always liked that. So on to some extent, I do like it.
Hmm.
But at the same time, it does present a situation where you aren't picking this clan because you like the clan. You're picking it because you want the game to be harder or easier. But then I guess you could say the same thing about like armor and stuff like that in video
Hmm.
games. You don't wear this armor because you think it looks good. You wear it because it's gonna save you from dying when that dragon
Yeah.
releases its ultimate attack on you, right?
Yeah.
So I guess you could kind of look at it from that perspective.
Hmm.
But I do see where you're coming from as well. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess it's kind of interesting that it does have some gameplay ramifications of it. I just hope that it's not like, all right, I'm gonna boot up Fire Emblem. I want to beat the game in less than 30 hours. All right, White Clan it is. Like, that was my biggest fear. But needless to say, I think it's good. And for like kind of going back for those who were complaining about the SMT Cross Fire Emblem game, you guys are getting a Fire Emblem game anyway. Oh God.
Yeah, people will always
They
complain,
will
man.
always
People always
complain.
complain. That's
And
just
then to wrap things up, Mario Kart 200cc. So Mario Kart has just released the fastest speed possible for the Wii U version, and it looks like Mario Kart is just becoming Death Race. That's what Mario Kart is becoming. I'm kind of excited because I've played on the higher speeds, and something like 200cc is probably going to be ridiculously hard to control in a fun way. Hopefully. But yeah, I'm just excited to see that where the DLC is gonna be coming out relatively soon, and that we're finally gonna get it because the Mario Kart DLC was really weird because like think
And the
about
DLC.
yeah, well, like the timeline for the DLC, like they let you buy it or pre-order it in months in advance, and it was kind of weird in that regard. But anyway, I'm excited. I think it's gonna be cool. But finally, the last part on our list, a game that I'm super hyped for, Deus Ex: Mankind Divided. The sequel to Deus Ex: Human Revolution was just announced. Big shiny trailer. Oh God, it was awesome.
That was an amazing trailer. Like that, I see. Usually, I don't like cinematic trailers because I'm like, it doesn't really tell me anything, you know.
Hmm.
Gameplay wise.
Hmm.
But that was a very very well made trailer. One thing that I did find really funny is that there's that one moment in the trailer where the cyborg quote unquote terrorists are making a
Hmm.
video, talking about their demands, right?
Hmm.
And then it's a room full of cybernetically enhanced people, really really futuristic, and then they have this really really small camera just recording them. I just it was so funny. But yeah, man, I like the story. It's taking a very different direction from the, well, not really, I guess. There was always a human and cybernetic beef, but yeah, it's going more in an X-Men direction now, with the people
Hmm.
with the cyborgs being hated for existing, and
Hmm.
then this dude, what's his name again? God. One moment.
You could do it, Adam Jensen.
Adam, duh.
Go, duh, Adam Jensen. He never asked for this, Fawaz. He never asked for this.
For some reason, he's siding with the people that are. I mean, even the dude in the trailer, highlights the fact that you're on the wrong side, dude. You realize, you're a cyborg too, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Newsflash.
But yeah, what do you? How do you feel?
Oh
about
God, well, one, I love Adam Jensen. I think he's a pretty cool character. I love his design. I love his big dumb cyber glasses and whatnot. I'm really excited because I really liked Deus Ex Human Revolution. I liked the dialogue in the game. I thought the dialogue was actually pretty good. I liked the fact that there were multiple ways for encounters. Like you could talk your way out of a situation, which is something that I really love. Like if there's a part in your game where I can talk my way out of a situation rather than shoot, then I'm already gonna enjoy it. But I do like the fact that we're getting a sequel to this because I love the level design from Deus Ex Human Revolution. I love crawling through the vents. I loved hacking turrets. I just love the ability to just do a bunch. There were like a bunch of different ways you could deal with an encounter.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see this one because they're probably just going to add more and more elements to that. And the part that got me was like, oh my God, you can shoot the blades out of your hands. Like the classic Adam Jensen like arm blade from the first one, you can now shoot as a ranged attack. So I'm excited.
The developers said they mentioned one thing though, that they were gonna, because one of the biggest complaints people had with the first Deus Ex was that the game gives you all these options until you reach the bosses. And then you just gotta shoot. So they said they're gonna work on that. They're gonna improve the boss battles in this game. Seeing is believing. So we'll see. But yeah, overall, I'm really excited. When do you think it's gonna be? When do you think it's launching?
I would be surprised if it was going to launch if it came out this year. I would be happy to a certain extent because it seems like this year's fourth quarter is pretty dry at this point.
Barren.
Yeah. But honestly, since we haven't actually seen any gameplay, I'm going to guess maybe early 2016.
Yeah.
At the earliest.
That's what I'm thinking too. But yeah, the only reason why I think there might be a possibility it could launch this fall is because of how barren this fall is. But Square Enix actually have a Tomb Raider dropping this fall, so I don't. This is probably not hitting anytime soon, unfortunately.
But I'm super psyched. I'm super excited, and I can't wait to go back to Adam Jensen because I really did like that Human Revolution, so I can only imagine what the sequel's going to bring. But anyway, I think we're going to have to wrap it up here. So if you liked what you see, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And if you leave a comment in the comment section, which I almost forgot. So, wow. So I forgot that a couple weeks ago we actually got a comment.
Oh my God! We did?
Yeah, we did. He had a question for us. Lobster Monk asks us, Fawaz, what do you think about GTA 5 Online? So, what do you think about GTA 5 Online?
Like 2 weeks later.
Dude, well, better late than never. I almost forgot it. Oh, God.
Better late than never.
So, I'll start with what I think about GTA 5 Online. I think it's all right. I think it's okay. Like the problem is I've never really had a great experience playing GTA 5 Online, especially playing with randoms. I think if you want to enjoy GTA 5 Online to the fullest, you need to have a good connection. You need to be playing with your friends who aren't going to just shoot you on sight. And you need to be playing those new heist missions because the heist missions are the best part of GTA 5. But other than that, if you can't do those specific things, you're probably not going to get a great experience out of it. You're probably just going to get a mediocre one, and I would just recommend just playing the single player because at least you won't have to deal with lag.
Yeah.
But anyway, what are your thoughts on GTA 5 Online?
Well, I never really got around to playing it. I played GTA 5 for a little bit. I played the single player. I hated it, and I was like, well, I'm done. So I don't I can't really give a good, but from what I've heard, I can only comment on what I've heard is that it's okay, like you said, it's gotten a lot better now that the heists are finally out. But from what I heard was at first anyway, there was a because you had to grind to make money in the game, so
Yeah.
it wasn't a lot of fun. But I'm guessing now that the heists are there, you could probably make a lot more money a lot quicker. So and then the problem with the game for a lot that I from what I heard was the lack of money because you need money to do like in real life, you need money to do
Yeah.
everything, but then it took so long to make money. But the heist might rectify that. So yeah, with the heist out, I guess I recommend it if you like GTA 5, I recommend checking out GTA 5 online. Now that the heists are finally out, it took
Yeah.
them long enough.
Yeah, exactly. I think now is probably a better time to play GTA 5 online than it was like a year ago when it first came out and was just a buggy mess. But yeah, basically, I think it's all right. Not great, but all right at the very least. But with that, now we're gonna actually wrap up. And if you liked what you heard, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, this was William Liberty, and
But what's Muhammad
we'll see you guys next time. Take care.